I'm gonna keep it real, the Switch 2 leaks this week have been a mess, and I feel like CES was just the culmination of all the ridiculousness of these leaks. This whole round of stories started because an accessory company, Genki, was at CES and they bought a mock-up of the Switch 2, which was obviously 3D printed, but they claimed at the time that this was based on the hardware from the Switch 2 that they saw, but they also mentioned they didn't plan on getting this much attention from bringing the mock-up to CES, which will be important later. So we had people at CES going crazy over the 3D printed mock-up, and while all that craziness was happening, a GameStop employee hopped on Reddit with a leaked picture from a GameStop office computer that shows some memory cards they have listed in their system for the Switch 2. And the only reason that was notable is because they were micro SD express cards, which are way faster than the current micro SD cards that the Switch supports. So the news is already going wild because Genki bought that Switch 2 mock-up to CES. Then at the same time, you have the GameStop employee that decided to leak the SD card thing online. And basically Nintendo, they finally decided to say something, but only about the Genki mock-up thing, not about anything else. So Nintendo spoke to CNET Japan and said that the render is unofficial and Nintendo did not provide them, as in Genki, the hardware. So yeah, it's weird that they specifically said something about Genki instead of just addressing the leaks in general, especially because there have been a lot of them going on recently. Well, after Nintendo put out their statement, Genki then backtracked on what they said earlier, that the mock-up was based on hardware that they'd actually seen, and said it was just based off the leaks that were already out there online. So either they were lying initially or they're lying now, because Nintendo is aware that they somehow obtained hardware or saw it without their permission, so they're afraid that Nintendo will come after them. And that kind of lines up with what they said earlier about like, oh, we didn't expect to get this much attention by bringing this to CES. So I don't think that they were intending to get like this many eyes and news stories talking about it in the first place. And also, it's not irrational to think that Nintendo would come after them, because Nintendo goes after every being possible, both living and non-living, when it comes to protecting their IP. It doesn't matter if you're dead or not. If you wrong Nintendo, they're gonna take you to court. But anyway, at the end of the day, the only real new information to come out was that the new Switch is probably gonna support faster SD cards.